Unpopular truth. Back with another video. Man, one of my cousins just sent me this here big LeBron James fan, right? I'm trying to see he sent me this to try to prop up LeBron James for some reason. What does this prove? 5 straight lottery seasons before LeBron came to LA. Okay. But this is the type of stuff that they do. They'll just bring up something random out of the air that says nothing. Like, I'd be so confused on what they think they actually saying, right? Okay, the Lakers weren't that good during those years. And you went to a team that had 5 straight lottery seasons. So that means you was getting the best players that was coming out of college, right? And you didn't make the playoffs with them when you came, right? So what is your point? And even after that, only thing you did was you recruited good players. For some reason, they say before LeBron came, like LeBron was the reason that they was good by himself, right? But they only had one good season. If you want to call that a good season. The bubble thing was not a good season. The only thing happened with that bubble thing, right? LeBron James was the main one saying that the whole bubble thing was stupid. He said not playing in front of fans and all them shenanigans. He was saying that. And everybody kind of agreed. I kind of agreed with him on that. Because it wasn't playing for nothing, because a lot of teams didn't have all their players because some of the players opted out to play. Right? And what happened was LeBron James seen that a lot of teams opted out to play. It was a shortened season and they opted out to play. Granted, the Lakers were in top spots at the time, right? But a lot of teams opted out to play. A lot of players opted out to play, I say that. So he saw opportunity to play that season. Now, I read LeBron James, and I read people that are not dogs, right? He saw that opportunity. He had a loaded team full of veterans. Loaded. He absolutely loaded. With AD just coming, he had Dwight Howard, he had Rondo, he had Kuzma, he had Caruso. And we've seen what Caruso been doing to these big name players this year, right? Defensive wise, right? So you had a loaded team. Everybody's healthy, but all the rest of the teams around the league were depleted because a lot of players opted out to play. Now, he took an opportunity to play, right? But guess what happened the next year? When everything was cut and dry fair. Guess what happened? The same championship team that he had, everybody got traded. Everybody got traded. And then the next year, they fired the coach. So you telling me that you felt like that championship was really something? Then you get Russell Westbrook. But this is down the time you got Russell Westbrook that next season after you traded everybody away. That didn't work out. So what they trying to brag on, like the team was just sorry before LeBron James got there. Fine. Everybody know Kobe was getting old and Kobe was hurt up. Kobe had a lot of issues with his injuries. So they were sorry. They didn't play good. Okay. But he didn't come there and make it no better. What did he do so good that y'all trying to act like the 5 seasons before that the season that he was there was so good? Nothing. He did absolutely nothing that better than them teams. He get put out the first round or didn't make the playoffs. Okay. You go in there with a stacked team every year and barely make it in the playoffs and get put out early in the playoffs when it's a whole season. Right? So I don't be getting what the purpose of these LeBron James fans trying to act like he turned the organization around or something. Every year he holler about not having enough help since he been there. Every year. Every year. The Nuggets had been knocking him off almost every year that he been there. So I don't get the point of these type of posts. He didn't do no better. He might have well had a lottery season. And what does that matter? You talking about a lottery season, but you getting all the best players in the league to come to the team. So you're not doing anything special. You just a great recruiter, if you want to say that. Now he a great recruiter, but he's not doing nothing. He's not doing nothing. He's not doing anything special. If you went to LA and you just went by yourself, I'm gonna tell you this. That first year, if he went there and went deep in the playoffs with that LA team that when he first got there, that would have been a good thing. I ain't even gonna say win. He didn't even have to win. If he would have went to the Eastern Conference Finals with that team that he had a bunch of young players and he was the biggest veteran on there, right? If they would have went deep, that would have been a good season, right? But when you go and stack your team up to the max on a COVID year, when the season has been shortened, what did you really do? You didn't do nothing. You just know how to stack your team up. That's the only way he has ever won. Stacking his team. That's not special. If you get all the best players on your team, it's not special. That's really bad. You should be winning every year. You should be winning the championship every year. That's just like when he was in the East. They always talking about 10 straight times or 8 straight times he went to the finals, right? But the East was garbage. Who was in the East? You're not beating anybody. All the good teams was in the West. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. And y'all want to even try to compare him to Kobe. It ain't even close. Kobe always had to go up against the juggernauts in the West. During their Kobe whole career, the West, you during there had to have 50 games to make it to the playoffs. And LeBron went 10 times. Or 8 times. How many other times, right? Straight. But the thing is, he wasn't winning. You can go how many times you want to and you ain't winning. That's just showing you that the East been garbage the whole time. The East just been garbage. It ain't nothing, you ain't did nothing special. You ain't did nothing special. But stack your teams. You took good opportunities when them teams was garbage. That's it. Nothing special at all. But they think, his fans think this stuff right here means something. They ain't even know nothing about this until to that day. This ain't even nothing to grade, right? I'm just gonna say this and it sound good, right? I can make it sound like I can just throw this out there like that matters. But it was a lot of times this was the same way for a lot of teams. The Cavaliers was a lottery team. That's how they got you. That's how they got Kyrie. They got like, the Cavaliers might have got like 5 or 6 #1 picks. If you would have played with Andrew Wiggins, then you would have been really stacked with #1 picks. But they traded him off. But if he don't have a stacked team, he hasn't won anything without a stacked team. And we're gonna make an excuse for it, right? Let me show y'all the excuse. So when he actually did go to the finals, they try to prop him up for beating the Pistons. Like the Pistons had their championship team with them. But they know they didn't have Ben Wallace. But they was making him just so great. He's just so great. He's just so great. That same year, he played the Spurs and got swept. Then everybody tried to say he was young. Nobody couldn't have beat them Spurs. That is a lie. That is a lie. I did a video about that too. That is a lie. They just act like people, like everybody that was born back then died, and they can just tell the story. They can just tell a different story now, and nobody ain't gonna know no different. The only thing you gotta go and do is look up the stats. Look up the stats and the scores, and that'll tell you the tale right there. Cause y'all use the stats for everything else when you do something, but nobody don't want to go look that up. Nobody don't want to go look up how garbage he played in that series, right? But anyway, man, it just be weird to me that his fans will just try to bring up random stuff that really doesn't mean anything. I don't know what he thought this meant, but it doesn't mean anything. But anywho, like, share, and subscribe. Tell somebody. Peace.